Hello everyone, this is Christian from Reduced to Atoms. This channel is called Reduced to Atoms because we break things down. Today, we're going to break down Arkham Origins because I think it's pretty neat. Wow, that was dramatic. So, I played the Arkham games for the first time ever this year, and I actually played Origins last. I know. It takes place first on the timeline, and it was the third to come out, but, um, you know what, I don't want to talk about it. The other three came in a bundle. What do you want from me? Anyway, my original plan was just to play the first three, and if I liked them, then I'd try this one out. And you know what? I really liked them. I wasn't really expecting much out of this game because I feel like it's the least talked about one, and it wasn't made by Rocksteady, obviously, so I wasn't really sure how much I'd like it compared to the other three, but man, this game slaps. Let's talk about why. In Arkham Origins, good old Bruce Wayne has been Batman for about 2 years, and people still talk about him like he's a myth, which I think is pretty cool. I love when we get to see stuff like this in Batman media because, well, how do you describe this without sounding crazy? It's not possible, I don't think. Another thing that I love about showcasing a Bruce Wayne that is this early in his Batman career is his relationship with Alfred. Anybody who's played this game knows about that great cutscene where Alfred tries to keep Bruce from going back into Gotham where, a bunch of assassins are trying to kill him and whatnot. Alfred then proceeds to call him a young man with a trust fund and too much anger. Ain't that the truth? Bruce then says, "Hold up. I'm not the kid you still look at me as. I am the fear that makes criminals think twice." And that perfectly encapsulates how Batman works. Batman is a character Bruce created because of his fear, and instead of overcoming the fear, he became the fear. He was never able to get over what happened to his parents, and he's still just a scared kid, and that's what Alfred sees. Instead of moving on from being the scared kid, he decided to become a whole other being, a being that brings fear to others instead of to himself. I feel like this might be when Alfred first realizes that there's no coming back from this. This Batcave, these bat suits, they aren't going away anytime soon. Batman is who Bruce is now, and nothing is going to stop him. This confrontation, this argument, just proved how determined Bruce is now, and it's something that Alfred's never seen before, but it's something that he's going to have to get used to for, well, 3 more games to be exact. You also get to see Bruce's early relationships with Jim and Barbara Gordon. Jim didn't see Batman as the hero we all know and love, but Barbara did. Throughout the game, we get to see Jim realize that him and Batman are on the same side, which is something that Barbara knew all along. He finally realized this after he saw that Batman wouldn't kill Bane. This showed Jim that there was more than one way to save Gotham. He finally believed in Batman, and he finally believed that there was still hope for the city. Like I mentioned, Barbara thought this all along. There's even parts in the game where Batman and Barbara both help each other out, which is kind of cool because it gives us a taste of what we know is to come in their futures. These 3 relationships that Bruce has in this game are so interesting because we know where they're going, and they fit in the story of the Arkhamverse just so perfectly. Oracle and Alfred are obviously huge parts in the later games, and Jim is one of the first people we meet in Arkham Asylum. There is one other person you do get to meet before Jim, though, and he plays an even bigger part than both Oracle and Alfred in the later games. Oh, I'm so excited to talk about this. Arkham Origins is one of the best Joker stories ever. I said it. And you know what? I meant it. In this game, we get to see how and why the Joker falls in love with Batman, which sets up their iconic rivalry, which continues for the entirety of the Arkham series. Joker realizes that, maybe there is someone just as crazy as him, and he's the guy who chose to save him, even after he almost kills him. Yeah, that is pretty crazy. Joker thought he'd seen it all and believed that the rest of the world was boring and lacking in excitement, but then he meets a guy who dresses up as a bat and beats people up. Obviously, this fascinates him, and we get to see the origin of his obsession with Batman. I love that Arkham Origins isn't just another origin story for the Caped Crusader, but instead, it's the origin story for the relationship that all these games are built on. A good Batman and Joker story is something that anybody can get behind, whether it be diehards or casual fans. However, I can get why people might be sick of it because we've seen Batman and Joker go up against each other a countless amount of times, but this game puts such a great twist on 2 characters that we know just so well. Joker feels like Batman gave him a purpose and even goes so far as saying that his whole life led up to him meeting Batman. He says this to Harley, but of course, Harley thinks he's talking about her. In a single line of dialogue, Arkham Origins perfectly explains the relationship not just between Batman and Joker, but between Joker and Harley Quinn as well. When it comes to who the Joker cares about, he'll always choose Batman over Harley. Simply messing with Batman is what keeps Joker going, and it even leads to his death later on in the series. What finally made Joker feel alive is also what led to his downfall. Harley always stuck by him, and even Batman admits that he would have saved him in the end. Just like how he saved them in the beginning. How about that? This game shows us the relationships that make the Joker a character instead of just another member of Batman's rogues. The lengths he'll go through and the people he'll disregard just to try and get under Batman's skin show he doesn't hate Batman. He's fascinated by him. And that fascination all begins during the most wonderful time of the year. And I just think that's really heartwarming. And now to put a little bow in this video, I just want to say that this game does not get the credit it deserves. The gameplay may not be as revolutionary as the other Arkham games, but Arkham Origins has one of the best Batman and Joker adaptations I've ever seen. You can tell the people writing this cared about these characters and wanted to do them justice. It's upsetting that this game's reputation is a little controversial because I feel like it has a lot to say about these characters. The same can go for Arkham Knight. These two games define the motivations and relationship between Batman and Joker, but get overlooked by classics such as Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. Overall, Arkham Origins is a good time if you like a good story, and it's a great time if you like a great Batman story. I'll see you in the next one.